is a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path.
First reading. A reading from the prophet Isaiah, chapter 52, verses 7 to 10. How beautiful upon the mountains are the feet of him who brings glad tidings, announcing peace, bearing good news, announcing salvation, and saying to Zion, Your God is King. Hark, your sentinels raise a cry. Together they shout for joy, for they see directly before their eyes the Lord restoring Zion. Break out together in song, O ruins of Jerusalem, for the Lord comforts his people. He redeems Jerusalem. The Lord has bared his holy arm in the sight of all the nations, and the ends of the earth will behold the salvation of our God. The word of the Lord. Second reading. A reading from the letter to the Hebrews, chapter 1, verses 1 to 6. Brothers and sisters, in times past, God spoke in partial and various ways to our ancestors through the prophets. In these last days, He has spoken to us through the Son, whom He made heir of all things, and through whom He created the universe, who is the refulgence of His glory, the very imprint of His being, and who sustains all things by His mighty word. When He had accomplished purification from sins, He took His seat at the right hand of the Majesty on high, as far superior to the angels, as the name He has inherited is more excellent than theirs. For to which of the angels did God ever say, You are my Son, this day I have begotten you? Or again, I will be a father to him, and he shall be a son to me. And again, when he leads the firstborn into the world, He says, Let all the angels of God worship him. The word of the Lord.
A reading from the Holy Gospel of St. John, chapter 1, verses 1 to 18. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things came through Him, and without Him nothing came to be. What came to be through Him was life, and this life was the light of the human race. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. A man named John was sent from God. He came for testimony, to testify to the light, so that all might believe through him. He was not the light, but came to testify to the light. The true light which enlightens everyone was coming into the world. He was in the world, and the world came to be through him. But the world did not know him. He came to what was his own, but his own people did not accept him. But to those who did accept him, he gave power to become children of God, to those who believe in his name, who are born not by natural generation, nor by human choice, nor by a man's decision, but of God. And the Word became flesh and made his dwelling among us, and we saw his glory, the glory as the Father's only Son, full of grace and truth. John testified to him and cried out, saying, This was he of whom I said, The one who is coming after me ranks ahead of me, because he existed before me. From his fullness we have all received grace in place of grace. Because while the law was given through Moses, grace and truth came through Jesus Christ. No one has ever seen God. The only Son, God, who is at the Father's side, has revealed him. The Gospel of the Lord.
My dear brothers and sisters in Christ, my dear children, and my dear young people, today, the Christmas Day, 25th of December 2023. The Gospel given to us is from John chapter 1, verses 1 to 18. It is about the Word of life. It is about the eternal Word, which has taken flesh and which has come into this world as the light of the whole humanity, the life of the world. But the Gospel says, John says in the Gospel, but the people have preferred the darkness to light. They have chosen what is dark, not the light that Jesus has brought into the world. That Jesus was the light. He was life. He was with the Father. He was the Father. He came into this world to save us by shedding light upon light, grace upon all humanity. There is a gift given to us, but there is a rejection on the part of the humanity. But Jesus says today that when he comes, as it is said in the Gospel, he has taken the human form. He wants to be one like us. God has emptied himself. He has come down to earth. Now he is born among us as a human person. Therefore, embracing all that is human except sin, because he cannot sin, because he is God. What are we preferring in our life? Have we ever understood the light of Christ, the grace that we receive in baptism and in all the sacraments at the Eucharistic celebration? And he says, out of the fullness of his grace, he has blessed us all, giving us one blessing after the other. What a privileged people we are to celebrate the Nativity, to embrace the light and receive the grace in order to live to the fullness of our humanity and our Christian vocation.